Hello, children. We had stopped with stanza 2 yesterday in the last video. Let's continue and let's begin stanza 3. Hope you understood. Now let's move on to the next stanza. So in the next stanza, the next set of people or the next set of the next type of men, sorry, this is stanza 3, not stanza 2, this should be stanza 3, okay, sorry about that. Okay, so in stanza 3, the next set of people are brought in front of the his dying father. Good men, the last wave, by crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay, rage, rage against the dying of the light. So the next set of people that is brought in front of his father are the good men. These good men are those who have done many good things for human mankind, noble men, and they believe that they can change the world into a better living place. But in reality, they often see that their dreams and hopes are dusted, frail deeds. You look at this, frail deeds. Okay? Frail deeds. They have not been able to, or their hopes, their dreams, or their deeds are all dusted. So they, when they near their death, the last wave. So when they near their death, the last wave, which is their death, they feel that they have not done anything. They shout out. They are crying. They shout out, crying that their deeds might have been successful. They could have been able to do something good. Their deeds could have been successful, might have danced. Their frail deeds might have danced if they were given some more time to live. If they were given some more opportunities, the Green Bay suggests opportunities. Okay. So they also rage against the dying of the light. They also rage against death and they try to live longer. Here Dylan compares the last generation of good men to the last ocean wave. Look at that, the last wave. The last wave is a comparison to the last ocean wave. തിരമാലകൾ ഇങ്ങനെ വന്ന് അടിയുന്ന ഒരു ഇമേജ് ആണ്, സീ ഇമേജ് ആണ് ഇവിടെ കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത്. വിച്ച് ഇസ് അബൌട്ട് ടു ഹിറ്റ് ദ ഷോർ. കരയിലോട്ട് വന്നടിയുന്ന ആ ഒരു തിരമാലയാണ് അവിടെ, ഒരു സീ ഇമേജ് ആണ് അവിടെ പിക്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ദാറ്റ് ഒബ്വിയസ്ലി വെൻ ദ wave comes and hits against the shore, it dies and then it moves away. So the green ocean, the green bay, the green ocean is symbolic of youth, the height of life. Those men feel that their works would have been successful. They would have been able to do much if they were in their youth by now. Their frail deeds might have danced in green bay. Green bay is a reference to youth, young age. So if they had more energy, if they were still strong, they could have been able to achieve more. They could have done a lot more of good deeds. So they also wish to live some more time. They also want to live a little more, a little longer, to see their hard work pay off. They want to see how their hard work will help the society if they are given some more time to live. So good men is a reference to what? The നന്മയുള്ള മനുഷ്യർ. അപ്പോൾ അടുത്ത കൂട്ടരെ കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ അച്ഛന് പ്രചോദനം നൽകാനായി കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത് നന്മയുള്ള മനുഷ്യരെയാണ്. അവരുടെ വിഷമം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അവർക്ക് കുറച്ച് നാൾ കൂടി കിട്ടിയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഒരുപാട് നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൂടി ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ അവരും മരണത്തിൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ കീഴടങ്ങിയേ പറ്റൂ. പക്ഷെ അവർ നിരാശരായി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സഹായതയോടെയല്ല മരണത്തിൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നത്. അവരും പൊരുതുകയാണ്. They are also fighting. They are not giving in meekly, gently. നിസ്സഹായതയോടെയല്ല അവർ മരണത്തിൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മരണത്തിൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ കീഴടങ്ങുകയല്ല ചെയ്യുന്നത്. They are also fighting. അവരും പൊരുതുകയാണ്. Okay? So, let's watch more about stanza 3. Now again the syntax here is a little confusing, and now if you look at why Dylan has used it that way, it is because he wanted this to fit in the form of Villanelle. Okay, the Villanelle form needs to be structured in this way, and that is why the syntax is, the word order has changed a little. See, this is not a new phenomenon, because this has been done by several writers. Shakespeare, for example, omitted letters to make it fit into the form that he was writing. So to help you understand better, I would want you to pick out some of the key words like good men, rage. So it means they are truly good men. Truly good men means even the noble men, the real good men, truly good men, നന്മയുള്ള മനുഷ്യർ പോലും, even they rage against death. So the theme here is that of transience, how fleeting life is, and how that we don't have time to do everything. Okay, and Dylan also uses, as I told you, a lot of sea imagery. Sea imagery ഒരുപാട് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് ഇവിടെ. Rolling on to the shore, the waves rolling on to the shore. So these waves rolling onto the shore presumably are these men, these people, these wise men who are like waves rolling onto the shore, the last wave rolling onto the shore that is nearing death. But before that coming to the shore, they could have danced. Okay, if they had more time. അവരുടെ യുവത്വത്തിൽ കുറച്ചും കൂടെ സമയവും ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസും കിട്ടിയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമായിരുന്നു. അതിനെപ്പറ്റി ഓർത്തിട്ടാണ് അവർ ദുഃഖിക്കുന്നത്. So the green bay is a reference to the young age, the youth. So before they are coming, ആ ഇമേജ് ആണ് നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിൽ കൊണ്ടുവരേണ്ടത്. ഏതാണ്? റോളിംഗ് ഓഫ് ദ വേവ്സിൻ്റെ, തിരമാലകളുടെ, അത് വന്ന് അടിയുന്ന തിരമാലകൾ കേട്ടോ, കരയിലേക്ക് വന്ന് അടിയുന്ന തിരമാലകളായാണ് നിങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവരുന്നത്. അതിനു മുന്നേ അവർക്ക് നല്ല വലിയ തിരമാലകളായി വരാം ആയിരുന്നു. ചിലതൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ മെല്ലെ വന്ന് അടിഞ്ഞ് അങ്ങ് പോകത്തേ ഉള്ളൂ അല്ലേ. The rolling waves. Some go into heights. So they feel, these people, these ones, the ones that are rolling onto the shore, they are slowly rolling onto the shore, they feel that they could have danced. They could have danced, these waves, they could have danced when they were young. So here it is a reference. ആ സീ ഇമേജ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ടാണ്. അതാണ് ഡിലൻ തോമസിൻ്റെ എളുപ്പമല്ല. പസിലിംഗ് പോയറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നതിൻ്റെ കാരണം ചില മെറ്റഫേഴ്സ് ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് ഭയങ്കര സ്ട്രൈക്കിംഗ് ആണ്, പക്ഷേ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് വെരി ഡിഫിക്കൾട്ട് ടു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ്. So through the image that he is bringing, this sea image, these waves, he is saying that these waves could have danced in there when they were forming itself. ഈ വേവ്സ് ഈ കരയിലോട്ട് വരുന്ന സമയത്താണല്ലോ അതിങ്ങനെ പൊങ്ങി വരുന്നത്. ആ സമയങ്ങളിൽ ചിലത് ഇങ്ങനെ പൊങ്ങി വലിയ തിരമാലകളായിട്ട് വരും, ചിലത് വളരെ മയത്തിൽ വന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെ അടിഞ്ഞ് അത് തിരിച്ചു പോകും. അപ്പോൾ ഇവർ, അതായത് ഈ ഗുഡ് മെൻ, ദേ ഫീൽ ദാറ്റ് they could have become, or they could have danced as great big waves when they were young. That means these good men, what do you mean by danced? Or they could have danced like good big waves. They could have done good things to the society. ഒരുപാട് നന്മകൾ സൊസൈറ്റിക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് യുവത്വത്തിൽ ചെയ്യുവാൻ പറ്റുമായിരുന്നു. അവർ യങ് ആയിട്ടും എനർജറ്റിക്കും ആയിട്ടും ഇരുന്ന സമയങ്ങളിൽ അവർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സമയമോ അതിന് അനുവദിച്ചില്ല. അത് കാരണം കൊണ്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ മരണം അടുക്കുമ്പോൾ അവർ പൊരുതുന്നത്. കുറച്ചും കൂടെ സമയം വേണമെന്ന് ചോദിച്ച് അവർ പൊരുതിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നതിൻ്റെ കാരണം എന്താണ്? They feel that they have not accomplished a lot of things. Okay, so let's move on to the fourth stanza. Now, the next set of people are brought here. These set of people are very interesting. They live a wild life. They celebrate life. Earlier in the first beginning, you found scholars, wise men. Even they know that death is inevitable. Even they feel that they also want to fight death because they also did not get time. They feel that they have not left an impact in the world through their knowledge, through their research, through all the things that they could have given to the world, the wise things, wisdom, knowledge that they could have given to the world. They feel that they have not given, they were not able to completely give it. They feel that they have not been able to create an impact, a lightning bolt in the world. The second set of people are the good people, good ones. They also feel that they did not get good opportunities in their young age. If they had been given a lot of time, they could have achieved or accomplished a little more of good things. They could have done a lot more of good things to the world, noble things to the world, so that the society will be able to live in happiness and peace. They feel that they could not accomplish it, or they could not completely achieve all those things. If they are given a little more of time, they would have been able to achieve a little more or accomplish a little more and see all those good things that they have done, how it is benefiting the society. സൊസൈറ്റീനെ അതെങ്ങനെ ബെനിഫിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് അതെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് കാണാനുള്ള ഒരു സാവകാശം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സമയം കിട്ടിയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ അത് കാരണം കൊണ്ടാണ് അവർ മരണത്തെ പൊരുതിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. Okay, and the third set of people, and they are the wild men. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight. Now look at that. It's very interesting, right? Wild men. Who are wild men? Wild men are those who live life, celebrate life. They believe in seize the day. They believe in live the present moment. They believe to make the most out of the day. ജീവിതം മുഴുവനും വന്യമായി ഉത്സാഹത്തോടെ, വൈൽഡായിട്ട് വന്യമായ ഉത്സാഹത്തോടെ ആസ്വദിക്കുന്ന ചിലരാണ് ഇവിടെ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത് വൈൽഡ് മെൻ. അവരും കാലം പോയതോ സമയം പോയത് അറിഞ്ഞിട്ടില്ല. They are the people who have spent their lives wildly enjoying and celebrating. They caught and sang the mortal beauty of life. Now look at this word, caught and sang the sun. Caught and sang the sun is a reference to caught and sang, or how they enjoyed the mortal beauty of life, how they enjoyed life to the fullest. The sun represents the beautiful, everything that is beautiful in life, everything that you get, luxury, happiness, everything, wealth, everything, all the happiness, all the beautiful aspects of life are the ones that is denoted by the sun here. So it's a complex metaphor. And they live, they believe in live the day philosophy. Even these people, they also finally learn that they have wasted their precious time. They learn too late. They grieved on its way. They finally learned that they have wasted their precious time. They grieved it on its way. So it's too late now. അവർ ദുഃഖിക്കുന്നു. അവർക്കൊന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയില്ല എന്നോർത്ത്, ജീവിതത്തിൻ്റെ മൂല്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കാതെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിൻ്റെ മൂല്യം അറിഞ്ഞ് ജീവിക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്തതിൻ്റെ സങ്കടമാണ് ഇവിടെ കാണുന്നത്. That is why they want to stay here for some more time by putting a fight against death. അവർക്ക് കുറച്ചും കൂടെ നാൾ ഇവിടെ ജീവിക്കണം എന്നുള്ളതിൻ്റെ കാരണം എന്താണ്? അവർ ജീവിത മൂല്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കാതെ ജീവിച്ചു പോയി. അതിൻ്റെ റിഗ്രറ്റ്, അതിൻ്റെ ഗിൽട്ടാണ് അവർക്ക്. അപ്പോൾ കുറച്ച് നാൾ കൂടി അവർക്ക് ജീവിത മൂല്യം അറിഞ്ഞ് ജീവിക്കാനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സാഹചര്യം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു സമയം, കുറച്ചും കൂടി സമയം കൊടുക്കണം എന്നുള്ള ഒരു കാരണത്താലാണ് അവർ they are fighting death. They are raging or battling death. The sun in flight means the moving sun that continuously goes from east to the west. And the wild men, they remain busy in celebrating sunrise. Okay, they are caught. The wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, they are busy celebrating sunrise. Caught the sun in flight means the movement of the sun from east to west. Okay, east to west. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, but they only look at the sun rising in the east. They are not very much into the setting of the sun. They remain busy celebrating sunrise, that they fail to notice that they are gradually nearing the sunset. They caught and sang the sun in flight. They are celebrating sunrise, and they fail to notice that they are gradually nearing the sunset. That is the end of their lives. It is as if the wild men grieved the sun by wasting their time. So wild men here, if you look, some interesting ideas here. I want you to, as I told you, I want you to have those questions in your mind. Wild men, who are the wild men? And who are the wild men who caught and sang, and what did they catch and sing? Did they catch and sing life? Did these people who really saw life realize that that life does not last forever? Did they grieve that life would not last and learn too late? They grieve. We get imagery here in sun, in flight. Is this symbolic of our life and our lifespan? The sun, which is the life, and flight, which is our lives. Sun is the life, and our lives here in this world, our life in this world is a flight. The sun inevitably sets. Definitely the sun will set. I'm not speaking scientifically, but it is supposed, or it is assumed, that the sun sets, and that is when we have night. Therefore, our flight also must end. Our life is also inevitably, or our lives also will have to end through death. right? So these are few questions I want you to bear in mind. Now let's go on to the stanza 5. The fifth stanza, we get a pun here of grave men. Obviously, grave men has two meanings, two different meanings. Grave, not too many. Grave here or grave can mean where you are buried. Kudimadam. Grave can also mean serious type of people. Gaurava സ്വഭാവമുള്ളവർ. Grave can also mean serious as such. That is, people who are seriously ill, who are suffering from cancer, who are suffering from AIDS, who are suffering from corona, who are battling life, who are dying. Okay, serious illnesses. So, therefore, there is a close association of death or nearing of death. Now, let's first look into the interpretation with grave men as of serious men. These grave men means the ones who are serious or more mature in nature and are in their old age. Grave men near death. Okay, and they are dying. They are dying. They are nearing death, and hence their vision is faded. അപ്പം വാർദ്ധക്യമാണ്, പ്രായമായി, അപ്പോൾ അവരുടെ കാഴ്ച കുറഞ്ഞു തുടങ്ങിയിരിക്കുന്നു. They cannot see things clearly because they are old. But even then their eyes glaze like meteors. ഇവർ ഈ ഗൗരവ സ്വഭാവമുള്ളവർ അവരുടെ വാർദ്ധക്യത്തിലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവരുടെ വാർദ്ധക്യം മൂലം അവരുടെ കണ്ണിൻ്റെ കാഴ്ച മങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. പക്ഷെ അവരുടെ ഉൾക്കണ്ണ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഉൾക്കാഴ്ച, അവരുടെ ഉൾക്കണ്ണുകൾ കൊണ്ട് അവർ മരണത്തെ അവരുടെ ഇവർ ഈ ഗൗരവ സ്വഭാവമുള്ളവർ അങ്ങനെയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവർ ഈ ഗൗരവ സ്വഭാവമുള്ളവർ അവരുടെ വാർദ്ധക്യം മൂലം അവരുടെ കണ്ണുകളുടെ കാഴ്ച മങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. പക്ഷേ എങ്കിൽ കൂടിയും അവരുടെ ഉൾക്കാഴ്ച അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഉൾക്കണ്ണുകൾ കൊണ്ട് അവർ മരണത്തെ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നു. അവർ മരണം അടുക്കുന്നത് അവർക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നു. പക്ഷെ അവർ പോലും മരണത്തിൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാതെ കീഴടങ്ങുന്നില്ല. അവരുടെ ഉൾക്കണ്ണ് ഉൽക്ക പോലെ മീറ്റിയോഴ്സ് അവരുടെ ഇൻസൈറ്റ്, അവരുടെ ഉൾക്കണ്ണ് ഉൽക്ക പോലെ ജ്വലിക്കുന്നു. and they fight death because they cannot see. They can't see, but even then they know that death is approaching through their insight. ഉൾക്കണ്ണുകൊണ്ട് അവർക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട് എന്ത് മരണം അടുത്തോണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണെന്നുള്ളത്. പക്ഷെ even then they blaze like meteors. Their eyes would blaze like meteors. ഉൽക്ക പോലെ ജ്വലിക്കുന്നു. They fight death. They have great insight and understanding of this dark death. And even if their eyes or vision is faded, they, with the help of their insight, burns and blaze like meteors. They fight death. Okay? So even though they are blind eyes, they see. So it's a metaphor. Blind eyes, they could blaze like meteors and be gay. They can see more clearly. Till now they were blind because of their old age. Their vision has faded, they cannot see clearly. But now they can see very clearly that death is approaching. Very clearly. It's much more clearer than before. They see with their insight. This could also mean that these grave men, I told you this is once, this ഒരു set എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് serious men who are grave, they are people with insight, they are wise people, they are great people with understanding and insight, even though they have faded vision, they know that death is approaching, but even then with their help of their insight, their understanding, their wisdom, they fight death. They blaze like meteors. Another meaning, obviously this also has a meaning of tombstone. Grave എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എന്താണ് കുഴിമാടവും കൂടിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് മരണത്തിനായിട്ടുള്ള അസോസിയേഷനാണ് അതിലുള്ളത്. വേറൊരു അർത്ഥം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് grave men, they are people who are suffering from grave illnesses, serious illnesses like battling cancer. For instance, his father is dying from cancer, so it could have an interpretation as of grave men near death, meaning people who are suffering gravely, seriously, who are battling serious diseases. They also, even they, when they near death and they lose their eyesight, they remain strong in their mind. They realize that they have passion for life. Even those people who are suffering or battling such serious diseases, even they at that time, ഒരു moment, they know that they have passion for life. They want to live a little more longer, maybe one day longer. Even they, at that time of the death, they also rage against death. I want you to think about the idea of blinding light, as I told you in the beginning. At their death, at their near stage of death, life leaving their body. മരിക്കുന്ന ആ ഒരു ടൈമിൽ think about this idea of blinding light, and at their death, that near stage of death, life is leaving the body. They suddenly see things more clearly than they hadn't seen before. What is it that they see? They see that they still have the capacity, the ability, the power to fight and to take control. They know that they can't overcome death. ഡെത്തിനെ ആർക്കും അതിജീവിക്കാനോ കീഴ്പ്പെടുത്താനോ പറ്റില്ല. മരണത്തെ കീഴ്പ്പെടുത്താൻ പറ്റില്ല. ശരി തന്നെയാണ്. പക്ഷേ they know that they can keep fighting until the very end. They want to die like meteors, ഉൽക്ക പോലെ, that blaze across the sky. Okay, so that is stanza 5. Now let's move on to the stanza 6. So blind eyes, in stanza 5, the blind eyes, they blaze like meteors, is a fine instance of a simile. I forgot to tell you that blind eyes could blaze like meteors. This is an example for simile. Okay. Here the poet hints at how people's passion and power will keep them strong at heart even when they become physically weak. അപ്പോൾ ഈ കവിതയിൽ കവി 4 കൂട്ടരെയാണ് അച്ഛൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ നിരത്തി നിർത്തുന്നു. ഒന്ന് വൈസ് മെൻ, അല്ലേ? They are scholars, ജ്ഞാനികൾ. The wise men who know that they have not brought or not been able to bring any impact in this world. They could not establish anything, or they have not left an impact on this world, a lightning bolt in this world. And therefore, they feel that they need to be given a little more time to live. They feel that they have not achieved enough. So they are fighting death. Then you have good men, noble men, നല്ല മനുഷ്യർ, നന്മയുള്ളവർ, noble men, they also feel that they have not been able to establish a lot of good things for the society. സൊസൈറ്റിക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഒരുപാട് നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങളൊന്നും ചെയ്ത് തീർക്കാൻ പറ്റിയിട്ടില്ല. ചെയ്ത കാര്യങ്ങളാണെങ്കിലോ അവർക്കതിൻ്റെ what is it, they are not able, they want to see, they want to stay there for a little while and see the changes that they have made and how people are benefiting it. So they also want to live a little longer. They feel that if they had begun this noble work or charity work or whatever good things that they have done to the society a little longer, that is when they were still young, they could have perhaps had time to see all those good things happening to the society. They started a little late and therefore they want to see how their help has benefited or how their noble work, അവർ ചെയ്ത നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് സൊസൈറ്റിക്ക് നന്മ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സൊസൈറ്റിക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ് അത് ഹെൽപ്ഫുള്ളായി തീർന്നിട്ടുള്ളതെന്നൊന്ന് കാണാനായിട്ട് വേണ്ടി കുറച്ച് നാളെങ്കിലും ജീവിക്കാൻ പറ്റിയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ അത് കാരണം കൊണ്ടാണ് ദേ ആർ ഓൾസോ ഫൈറ്റിംഗ് ഡെത്ത്. അവരും മരണത്തെ പൊരുതുകയാണ്. ഓക്കെ. And the third set is the wild men. Wild men who are ജീവിതത്തെ വന്യമായി ആഘോഷിച്ച് ഉല്ലസിച്ചവരാണ്. They are wild men. They were the ones who celebrated life wildly. They forgot to live. They forgot to live a valuable life. They did not understand the value of life. ജീവിത മൂല്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കാതെ ജീവിച്ച കുറച്ച് ആൾക്കാരാണ് അവർ. അത് കാരണം കൊണ്ട് they are grieving, they are sad. സമയം പോയത് അവർ അറിഞ്ഞില്ല, കാലം പോയത് അവർ അറിഞ്ഞില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് കുറച്ച് നേരം കൂടി, കുറച്ച് സമയം കൂടി അവർക്ക് കിട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ജീവിതത്തിൻ്റെ മൂല്യം മനസ്സിലാക്കി ജീവിതം ജീവിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഒരു അവസരം കിട്ടുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചിട്ടാണ് അവർ മരണത്തെ പൊരുതുന്നത്. They want time. They are raging against death so that they could get some more time on this planet or on this earth, so that they could understand, live a better life. They feel that they have wasted their precious time. Okay. And finally you have the last set of grave men. Here the poet says or speaks about ജീവിതത്തിലെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ജീവിതത്തെ ഗൗരവമായി കണ്ടവർ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വളരെ സീരിയസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഡിസീസസ്, those who are battling serious illnesses like cancer, those people, അവരെയാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ അച്ഛൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ കൊണ്ട് നിർത്തുന്നത്. And how they also fight death. വാർദ്ധക്യത്തിലെത്തി നിൽക്കുന്ന ഇവർ എങ്ങനെയാണ് മരണത്തെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പൊരുതുന്നത് എന്ന്. മരണത്തെ അതിജീവിക്കാനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മരണത്തെ കീഴ്പ്പെടുത്താനോ പറ്റില്ല എന്നുള്ളത് ഇവർക്കറിയാം. വളരെ പ്രായം ചെന്ന് ബ്ലൈൻഡായിട്ട് ഇരിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാർക്കും അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ക്യാൻസർ പോലത്തെ അസുഖം ബാധിച്ച് മരണത്തെ മല്ലിടുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മരണമായിട്ട് മല്ലിട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാരായാലും അവർക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം എന്ത്, മരണത്തെ അതിജീവിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്ന്. പക്ഷേ അവരും don't want to give in easily. അങ്ങനെ മരണത്തിൻ്റെ മുന്നിൽ നിസ്സഹായതയോടെ നിൽക്കാൻ അവരും താല്പര്യപ്പെടുന്നില്ല. They also want to fight. They want to fight like a warrior. They want to blaze like the meteors. Okay, ഉൽക്ക പോലെ ജ്വലിച്ച് അങ്ങനെ മരിക്കാനാണ് അവർക്കിഷ്ടം. They want to die. They want to fight death. പൊരുതി മരിക്കാനാണ് അവർക്ക് ഇഷ്ടം. Okay, they also rage against the dying of the light. All right, now we'll move on to the last section, that is a quatrain. So till now you had a villanelle. This is a villanelle, and a villanelle has 19 lines. Each 5 stanzas, you have 5 stanzas with having tercets. Tercet means 3 lines, okay? And each 5 stanzas, if you look at them, you have tercets, stanza 2, stanza 3, stanza 4, all have stanza 5, all have tercets. And when you come to the final stanza, which is the quatrain, the final stanza has 4 lines, quatrain. Clear? All right, and at the end you will find the refrain repeated here like a chorus, the ones that were repeated from the beginning, from stanza 1 onwards. Do not go gentle into that good night, rage, rage against the dying of the light. And now in the last stanza, here he is talking directly to his father. Here he is talking to his father and asking him, or he's watching his father battle cancer. He's watching his father with fierce tears, and he feels terrified, or he is feeling very terrible, and he is telling his father, he's asking his father to, fight. Now I want you, before I give you the meaning of this or interpret it for you, remember this can be interpreted, there are several interpretations to this. Now the main theme of course is death, and I just want to ask you a few things. Look at the word sad height here, sad height. Now what do you mean by the sad height? These are questions I want you to answer. Okay, what do you mean by the sad height? I'll give you I'll give you a few prompts. Is he talking about the father? Is he talking about the distance between the father and the son, because one person is dying and the other person is alive, right? The distance that is being going to be created, the sad height. Is he talking about that? Is that the height that he's talking about, the sad height where the father is going to die and the son is going to live, and that sad height, the distance that is going to come between father and the son soon? Or is it perhaps he's talking about the valley of death? Maybe for the Christians it would be easier to understand the traditional Christian imagery. Sam, Sankirtanam, 23-ാം സങ്കീർത്തനം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിനകത്ത് പറയുന്ന, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, അതിനകത്ത് പറയുന്നത് പോലെ, is it the valley of death, the traditional Christian image that he's speaking about, the sad height, the valley of death? Or is it perhaps the deathbed, there on the sad height, there you're lying on the sad deathbed, sad height here? Is it a reference to the deathbed? So I want you to think about it. Okay. We get more commands. If you look at it, we get more commands from the son to his father. We get the command of urgence, immediacy, urgence. What does his son tell his father? Curse, bless, curse or bless me with your fierce tears. That's what he says. Doesn't matter what you say, just say something, do something in this final moment, utter something, okay? And let all the things deep inside you come out. Don't cry. I cannot face your tears. I don't want you to be gentle. I don't want you to be calm. I want you to get angry, to curse and bless. Say something. Keep fighting till the very end. So in the final quatrain, the poet is addressing his father, who is in a sad, dying situation, sad height. And Dylan begins to tell his father to cry passionately. Don't cry meekly. Don't cry sadly and give in. Let your tears be not that of calm, gentle tears. Let it be a fierce tear. And he wants him to express his fears and his sadness. He tells him to curse or a blessing. It could come as a curse. Let's say something, do something. Let it be a curse or a blessing towards the poet. I'm ready to accept it. Probably what Dylan is trying to tell you, now again this is a puzzling poet, so probably what Dylan is trying to tell us is that maybe he's seeing this father cry. കരയുന്നത് കണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് നിൽക്കുകയാണ്, and it is heartbreaking for the son who is very close to his father. So this heartbreaking, അച്ഛൻ കരയുന്ന ആ ഒരു അവസ്ഥ അതൊരു കേഴ്സ് പോലെയാണ്. But it could also be a blessing to Dylan because he finds or he sees that his father is not meekly giving in. കാമായിട്ടല്ല മരണത്തിൻ്റെ കീഴടങ്ങുന്നത്. He's fighting. He's fighting against odds of death than submitting to it. So that is that fierce tears. Curse, bless me now with your fierce tears. Say something, do something. That urgency. Don't give in. Don't gently walk in. Keep fighting till the very, very end of your breath. Try to resist it as far as possible. ഉള്ളിലുള്ള എല്ലാ വിഷാദവും വികാരങ്ങളും എല്ലാം ഒഴുകി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒഴുക്കിക്കളയാനാണ് പറയുന്നത്. Burst open your sadness, your woes, your fears, your pain. Just say something to me, tell me. I'm ready to hear it. Okay, that's what he says. But whatever you do, don't meekly give in. Don't gently give in. Don't accept. Don't submit yourself to death calmly. Fight death. That's what he says. So in the final stanza here, you have the Villanelle form bringing the lines together in the final stanza, bringing all these lines. That is the first two lines that is repeated in the final stanza. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. So this is the final Villanelle structure. Okay, and you get the poet asking the father to fight against death till the very end of his life. So with that, we come to the end of the poem. We shall discuss the question answers as well as the poetic forms once we are done with our portions. Once we have completed our semester, we shall do the when we take up the revision class, we shall be doing the poetic forms, and that might be in the form of Google form. Okay, that could be in the form of Google form. Okay, so thank you and keep safe.